It's your fault. So
Yeah, I know.
It's your stuff and everything. I'm not going to get in the middle of your stuff.
I just don't want people to think I'm doing favoritism.
A candidate for the Nelson County Board of Supervisors pulled over going 72 in a 55. Body camera footage reveals the deputy could have cited Jessica Ligon for a lot more than speeding.
He found a child unrestrained in the SUV. Ligon also blew over the legal limit for alcohol. Tonight, ABC 13 investigates why she only walked away with a speeding ticket.
Yeah, our team coverage begins with Danner Evans walking you through that body camera footage. This is a story you will only see on ABC 13 tonight.
There you are.
On September 9th, Deputy David Wilson with the Nelson County Sheriff's Office pulls over this SUV.
Nelson, we'll be pulling into the parking lot at the Woodland Baptist Church, Virginia registration.
He clocked the driver going 72 in a 55 on Route 56 near Piney River.
Hey.
Hello, sir. You're like, damn it, man.
Yeah.
I said I'm getting a ticket this time.
72 and a 55.
Behind the wheel is Jessica Ligon, a candidate for the South District of the Nelson County Board of Supervisors. She has a female passenger. In the back seat, Deputy Wilson notices another passenger.
Is the little man
Asleep.
Is he buckled up?
No, he's not.
Okay.
You're gonna get me a furlough.
All right. Well, just hang tight. Let me get some things done. I'll be right back. All right.
Deputy Wilson seems familiar with Ligon. He calls Lieutenant Chris Justice for assistance and then returns to Ligon's SUV. This is actually the second time the two have seen each other that day. They also saw each other at a local festival.
Hey, Jessica.
Yes, sir.
Hey, come on here for me. Let me talk to you, okay? All right. I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you, okay?
I understand.
Okay. So, and I'm not putting it past you or anything, but I know you were drinking.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So how much did we have to drink?
I only had 2 drinks.
Only 2?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's an issue, though, okay?
I understand.
Okay. You know you were kind of coming in my lane, too.
Oh, well, I apologize.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I thought for a second you were going to...
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, we were pretty close. The reason I pulled you out to talk to you, okay, because I can still... It's not a strong, heavy odor, okay, but I can still smell a slight odor of alcohol emitting off your breath, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you saw me drinking, too.
I did, yes. So...
Yep.
Lieutenant Justice arrives about 8 minutes into the traffic stop.
So I had her at 72 and at 55. Okay. All right, so it's about 5 o'clock now. Last time I saw her was about 11:15, 11:30. We were over on the Piney River, smoke on the whatever, that event day. She was drinking. I still have a slight odor of alcohol beverage emitting off her breath.
3:30 Nelson traffic stop.
You know who she is?
Just looking at her don't ring no bells. Just looking at her don't ring no bells.
Jessica Ligon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Both deputies then ask Ligon to take a preliminary breath test, or PBT.
All right. Blow, 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 blow. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing.
She blows a 0.83, above the legal limit of 0.8.
0.083.
This is what I would suggest. Give it a couple of minutes and give another one, see if she's going up or coming down.
While they wait for another PBT, Deputy Wilson begins a series of 3 field sobriety tests about 14 minutes into the traffic stop.
So what I want you to do is follow the tip of my finger.
Okay.
All right, with your eyes and your eyes only, okay?
Okay.
Do not move your head.
All right.
All right, Jessica, you're moving your head, okay?
1, 2, 3, 1001, 1002, 1003. My mom said you haven't lived till social services has called you, but maybe you haven't lived till you had a field sobriety test.
Around 21 minutes into the traffic stop, deputies asked Ligon to take a second PBT.
Justice, 0.08. She's going down.
This time, she blows a .08. Virginia law states all drivers with a BAC of 0.08% or above are considered to be driving under the influence.
All right, just hang out with her at the tailgate. I'll talk to my lieutenant, okay? Thank you.
During a portion of the field sobriety test, Deputy Wilson says he noticed an issue.
Well,
there was nystagmus. Walk and turn was fine. Mulnug stand was fine. There is nystagmus.
Deputy Wilson is referring to this when he asked Ligon to follow his finger only with her eyes.
All right, Jessica, you're moving your head, okay?
So, I mean, you got enough to arrest her on the segments and all. I mean, that's why, like I said, I do more than just those 3 standardized field sobriety tests. I'd give her a couple more minutes. Go ahead and if you're going to do the summons, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And I hit her with another PBT and see where she's at.
Jessica, I'm going to work on the summons for speeding. Okay. Little man, he's unbuckled, okay?
Yes.
So that's
he's buckled now.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I understand.
okay. So
According to court records, Deputy Wilson issues Ligon a ticket for speeding, but not for having an unrestrained child. Finally, about 38 minutes after being pulled over, Ligon takes a 3rd preliminary breath test.
still 0.08.
Seriously?
Yep.
Deputy Wilson confers with Lieutenant Justice again on the results.
That's why I said it's your call.
Yeah, I know.
It's your stop and everything. I'm not going to get in the middle of your stop.
I just don't want people to think I'm doing favoritism because.
You know, if she was falling down,
Oh yeah.
you know, that's one thing. But how can you articulate the FSD?
She needs to call somebody though. All right, Jess, let's have a heart-to-heart. Come here. Based off field sobriety test, I know you're still 0.08. Obviously, I can't arrest you just based off your PBT. With that being said, with just the nystagmus, it was there, but it wasn't. I've seen worse, a lot worse. Okay, so I don't feel that I have enough to place you under arrest for DUI, but you're still 0.08. You got to call somebody.
Okay.
Several minutes later, someone arrives to drive Ligon and her passengers home.
Thank you again. Thank you, sir.
According to these court records, Jessica Ligon paid $181 in court costs and fines for this speeding ticket back in October. She went on to win the South District Board of Supervisors seat in Nelson County last month. Ligon will be sworn in later this month. Back to you.
ABC 13 was first tipped off to this story by a concerned citizen. She and others are wondering why Jessica Ligon was only ticketed for speeding and nothing else.
They reached out to ABC 13 asking if it had anything to do with the race for county supervisor. We sent Alexia Stanbridge to Nelson County to find answers.
I totally understand.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I started by reaching out to Jessica Ligon at her veterinarian's office in Lovingston to see if she would speak with me about the traffic stop.
Okay. I will have to look at my schedule. There's a lot of meetings for the county that I'm kind of dealing with.
I called her back the next day to follow up.
But currently I have just no comment or time.
Was elected in.
I reached out to Jesse Rutherford, the current Board of Supervisors chair. It was the first he'd heard of the incident.
Goodness gracious.
Rutherford says he doesn't want to comment at this time, and Nelson County Administrator Candy McGarry says the same.
Let's let the process work out.
But the Nelson County Republican Committee Chairman Carlton Ballou agreed to sit down with me.
Have you ever been through anything like this before?
Ligon won the seat on the Republican ticket.
She was elected by the voters of the South District, and it'll be up to them to decide exactly what, if anything, they'll do about it.
Ballou wishes to remind everyone that Ligon was not ticketed for anything other than speeding.
Next, I reached out to Nelson County Sheriff's officials looking to get answers to these questions. Why wasn't Jessica Ligon charged with a DUI? Did she get favorable treatment? Did the deputy and the lieutenant handle the situation properly? Is giving 3 preliminary breath tests a normal procedure? Is it normal to only get a speeding citation after blowing a .083 and having your child unrestrained? Hi, this is Alexia Stanbridge with ABC 13 News.
I called and emailed the sheriff's office multiple times over the past 2 weeks, hearing no response. I even stopped by in person to set up an interview with current Sheriff David Hill, but was told he was not available.
Is there any chance for Deputy Lieutenant Chris Justice or...
I also asked to interview the 2 from the video, Deputy David Wilson and Lieutenant Chris Justice. The sheriff's office told me only the sheriff can speak with the media.
The newly elected Nelson County Sheriff Mark Embry says he doesn't want to comment on the case since he hasn't taken office yet, but he did agree to break down some procedural questions for me. He says offering 3 PBT tests, there is no procedure. A ticket for an unbuckled child, it's up to the officer. Taking more than 45 minutes for a traffic stop, not typical. And if probable cause exists, an arrest needs to be made. I also reached out to the Nelson County Commonwealth's attorney, Daniel Rutherford. He says he's on military duty and won't be able to talk until he gets back. In the last 2 hours, Jessica Ligon did release a statement. It reads in part, on September 9th, I was stopped for speeding by Nelson County Sheriff's Office. During the course of the traffic stop, I was asked questions regarding if I was impaired in my driving. However, I was not charged with driving while under the influence. I answered all questions and fully cooperated with the sheriff deputies. Mark?
And Alexia, Ligon also now has an attorney who also released this statement.
Yes, her lawyers, Senator Bill Stanley and former Attorney General Tony Troy, released a joint statement. It reads in part, as trial attorneys, we have defended people charged with DUI, and it is clear to us that Miss Ligon was not intoxicated at the time. Both of these full statements are on our website. Back to you.
Virginia law says preliminary breath analysis tests cannot be used as evidence in court. They are typically used to determine probable cause. Blood tests and chemical breath tests are more accurate, which leads us to another question. Why wasn't Ligon taken to a facility for a blood or chemical breath test? But again, no one who currently works for the sheriff's office will talk to us.
In 2022, the Mothers Against Drunk Driving organization recognized Deputy Wilson for the second year in a row. The department says he was recognized for his continued contribution to the reduction of impaired driving. One other note here, the incoming sheriff, Embry, says Deputy Wilson and Lieutenant Justice have chosen to leave the Nelson County Sheriff's Office, but he says it is unrelated to that traffic stop. Both Justice and Wilson will be going to the Amherst County Sheriff's Office, according to the new Amherst County Sheriff, Jimmy Ayers. And while some people are raising questions, we are not aware of Deputies Justice or Wilson being formally accused of violating any department policy.
This traffic stop happened weeks before the election, but it's just coming to light now. On election night, Ligon won a seat on the county's Board of Supervisors. In January, she will represent the South District. Ligon received 59% of the vote that night. Her opponent, Mary Catherine Allen, got 40%. Now, if you want to read more about this traffic stop, you can do that right now. We have stories posted about it on WSET.com and in our ABC 13 News app. Scan the QR code on the screen to access our website.
Thanks for watching the ABC 13 YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos and live coverage and local stories, click to subscribe and download our ABC 13 News app.